Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Heavensward stream. I seem to have lost Twitch for some reason. Where's Twitch gone? Ba-ba-bum. Maybe it was updating itself. Let's see. Oh, actually, I think it crashed earlier, so I shut it down. Earlier, so I shut it down. Right. Earlier. Okay, that's working. Everything is working. I've turned off the hood. So, we are continuing on with our Road to 60 journey, which, to be honest, we will probably get today. Because the double XP buff is quite dramatic. We've made it to Idleshire, or Idleshire, or however the hell you want to pronounce it. Let's go to the log window. And we are up in the Dravanian hinterlands, which looks a lot like, if you take away the actual city, it looks a lot like Kurthus version 1 did. Don't know why I got off my joke about that. Being dumb. But yeah, all the kind of pine trees and the green grass and the grey rocks is very reminiscent of the original version of Kurthus. In fact, I was cleaning up my external hard drive today, which I do at reasonable regularity every 3 months to 6 months, and I found, well, I say found, I actually went looking for some versions of FF14 1.x, and I actually managed to find a few. Yeah, I found a fair few photographs, screenshots from 1.x. Nothing super duper exciting, because I don't think I really knew at the time that that 1.x was going to be quite so bad. But what I did find, which entertained me, was some text files that I had created during the 1.0 alpha, because I was an alpha tester for 1.0. Both me and Psyche were, actually, although he got in first. I must confess, I actually played as his account because he wasn't even in the country at the time. He was, I think he was doing a conference or something in France or wherever. So yeah, I got to play it before him, and yeah, just reading back through these notes definitely reminded me that that 1.0 was, in many ways, a very special game. Even now, there are some design decisions that they made that I kind of agreed with. And it was definitely a very good-looking game. The lighting effect back then was astounding. I think I've spoken about how I really like the primal fights in this because of how the lighting interacts in such a small area, and they can do more with it that they can't do in the open world. And I don't know where I'm going. What am I doing in this area? Search for Slowfix's friend. Slow Ffxiv's friend is not up there. Oh, it's there, in fact. Oh, it's Brayflox. Hey! But yeah, what was I saying? The lighting. Yeah, the lighting and texture work. I must admit, I look back at 1.0 with a little bit of rose-tinted glasses. I shall continue this in a moment. Goodly Uplander, long time no eye catch. What is bringing Uplander here? Does Uplander have lusty eyes for junk, Brayflox? No, I'm not after your junk, Brayflox. Uplander must not be touching junk of Brayflox. Brayflox is finding junk first. I knew I recognised that voice. Greetings, Brayflox. It has been a while. Forgive us for interrupting your work, but Captain Whiskett gave me to understand that you were marked by the Illuminati. This happens to be Illuminati-held territory. Is it wise to be here? Pshaw! Brayflox eat Illuminati for synopsis. Breakfast. Oh, speak of the devils. Nice helmet. Who eats who for synopsis? What? This is the Darth Vader of the Illuminati. Brayflox all talks. Unwise you are to come here after dirty taking secret knowings of cheesemake from Illuminati. Brayflox did no one right. Cheese recipe is copy birthright. Save tongue flaps for trading in Death Pit. Yes. Oh god, yeah, I forgot about this. I failed this the first time. Actually, I have a feeling I failed this the second time as well. Bum, bum. Pray to Godfathers, for punishment is near times. It appears we have no choice. Not entirely sure why I dropped that there. Yes, I know Brayflox needs your help. Right, I'm hoping that the others can deal with the... Tremble before mighty blue. Ooh, bombs. Oh yes. Oh, more of them. Ah! Yes, this is why I failed this the first time. Right. Jesus Christ, there's loads of them. Oh, actually maybe this isn't the one I'm thinking of. Ow, 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 ow.
Ha! Aoife! To me!
No. And there we go. It is really, really hard to target anything in that dungeon, this duty. Yes, that's why I failed it the first time. Alright, we can skip this time. Now I'm having to concentrate. I think the trick actually was not to try and aggro everything. Pain. Yeah, any time now.
Aoife, to me. Have at you.
There we go. Phew. Whew. That was quite challenging. Illuminati, no match for furious gob-fisted Brayflox. More junk is awaiting Brayflox muchly. Brayflox is taking leave of Uplanders. Okay, so we save your life, and then you go off and get the loot. Let's sigh. Comedy shrugs. The goblins are all about that comedy. Being embroiled in a cheese war was the last thing I expected coming to Charlene. At any rate, we've fulfilled Ffxiv's request. Let us return with the good tidings and be on our way. Somewhere around here is a bridge that I wanted to show you. Or alternatively, maybe I'm going insane. That's also possibly true. There's definitely a broken bridge somewhere that you can't get across. I don't know. Oh, that's the hunting log thing. Got nothing to hunt in this zone. Right, tap clicks wanted us to kill goblins. We've done that. That's nice. That's nice. Oh, that's... I think this is the bridge that's broken. Yes. So that's why we had to go up to Idleshire, because you can't get over here, and the ether current is on the other side, unfortunately. Really like the ivy graphics, though. If you get up close to it, the texture is actually not very good. But I think I've said this about pretty much everything in Final Fantasy XIV. From a distance, everything looks great. It's just when you get up close that the texture work really suffers. Although, speaking of texture work, Final Fantasy 14. Let's try that again. Final Fantasy 15. Which is one of my favourite games of the year, for all its faults, and it does have some faults. It is a great game in my opinion. That being said, I haven't played any of the DLC for it yet. I'm waiting until the third and final piece comes out before I go back and play through the game again, with all the bits and pieces. But it has been announced that there's going to be a Windows version sometime next year, which will have all the HD, all of the HD, 4K resolution, well, up to 8K resolution apparently, 4K textures, lots of NVIDIA bits and pieces. It will look brilliant. So I'm looking forward to that. And of course, since it's on PC, it will also probably be moddable and stuff. Uplanders are back! Did Uplanders find Friend of Ffxiv? Yes, we found Brayflux. Psh, time has not cured recklessness of Brayflux. Without help from Uplanders, Brayflux would now be dead gobby. Ffxiv owes Uplanders debt of gratitude. Ffxiv and Brayflux are joined by inseparable gobby bond. If Ffxiv had known that Uplanders are friends of Brayflux, Ffxiv would have welcomed Uplanders to Gobbyflock at first meeting. I imagine they will sell for more. Don't want that one. I want this one. Ugh, I hate this stupid hilt on the rapier. Right, let's get rocking and rolling. Uplanders have upheld bargain most highly. As promised, Ffxiv makes Uplanders honoured citizens of Idleshire, free to cross river at will. Though Uplanders must leave for now, Ffxiv hopes that Uplanders will pay many visits and help build great new nation. You are most kind, my friend. You may be certain that we will return. Yes, this is the endgame hub for Heavensward, but it does suffer, as I think I've said, the same problem that Revenants told us, in the sense that what we are seeing now is the finished version. Because they didn't want to keep four different versions, I think maybe, of Idleshire in the game files, because obviously, you know, it's a lot of textures and a lot of data that needs to be stored. And yeah, so we're seeing the finished version, just like we saw the finished version of Revenant's Tome. We don't get to see the evolution of it, which, in my opinion, is a little bit of a shame. I must confess, at first it upset me to learn that my home had been occupied by others, but I see now that it is in good hands. And do I care? I look forward to seeing Charlene thrive once more, to become home to people of all races and creeds. Ffxiv has already ordered the Godwatch to let her blunders through. Safe travels. Thank you, Ffxiv. Now for now, Demajen, shall we then? Boom, boom, boom. Right, there are hole picks. I noticed that as well as doing ether currents, you also get some gear from some of these quests. If it offers tanking gear, I'm going to do it, because I could kind of do with some upgrades. Not going to read it out though. Bum bum ba da da. Huh? Oh, that looks really weird on the minimap for some reason. Midnight Dew. Nope. Woolnix. Yes. Okay, I seem to recall. Yeah, these take us back the way we've came. We'll go do those first. It shouldn't take too long. Right, we need to kill Tarantula Hawks, which are these things, I believe. Yes. These are very clearly not hawks. They are in fact very clearly big-ass wasp things. I'm not a huge fan of wasps. And final sting. At least we can run between things now, which is nice. Boom, 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 boom. I've got a new keyboard arriving tomorrow, which I'm hoping will be a bit quieter than this one. I don't know whether I mentioned this yesterday, but I discovered last night the box, because I keep the boxes for most of my tech stuff, and I discovered that actually this Black Widow Ultimate, which is the keyboard that I've been using for a while now, I've actually been using for longer than I thought. This is the 2010 model. Only the 2010 model had the blue backlighting, which is what I've got on this one. After 2012 or 2013, they swapped to the Razor Green. So this keyboard's actually a lot older than I thought. I thought I only had it for like 3 years or something, but it turns out I've had it for about 6. Maybe 7. So, oops. Which does kind of explain why it was so filthy when I cleaned it the other day. It also explains why it felt so clunky in places. But it still works absolutely fine. It's still very nice to type on. It's just really, really clicky. So it's not the best keyboard for gaming and streaming, and since I've very much enjoyed this foray into both gaming and streaming and recording stuff, I thought you know, I might as well go the whole hog and invest in a slightly quieter keyboard. It could be a terrible decision. Don't know. But I've gone for the Corsair RGB K95 Platinum, which comes with two different types of switches. The speed switches, which are great for gaming but apparently not very good for typing, and the brown switches, which are basically the blue switches, but without that very, very audible click. I mean, it will still make sound because it's a mechanical keyboard. It's still got to have a switch in it, but they are apparently quieter. I don't know by how much, but either way, it is good. That being said, I have not tried the brown switches, so I have no idea to what extent they are quieter or anything. I've watched YouTube videos on it, but there's only so much that you can get from a YouTube video, and a lot of the YouTuber reviews of this particular keyboard that I've gone for are for the speed version, because they're gaming YouTubers or YouTube channels, and I'm not super interested in it from a gaming point of view. It's I use my keyboard for a lot more than just gaming. In the stream, I say the stream downtime, I've also had a go at playing combat in this with the controller, and I've come to the conclusion that it's not for me. It's really not for me. My muscle memory is too ingrained with this, the keyboard and mouse. I've got a Razer Naga 12-side buttoned mouse, and it just does everything for me. It's why my hotbars are laid out as they are, and trying to go from this to a the cross hotbar that a lot of people use for their streams. It wasn't going to work for me. I mean, I could eventually get used to it, but we're talking a good chunk of the way down the line, and I'm not really wanting to put that kind of effort in. I'm a bit too lazy for that. So, new keyboard instead. I actually also pulled out one of those weird round gaming side keyboard things that you can get. Like, what do they call them? A game board or something like that. And I've got a wolf pad or something like that, and that's nice and quiet. But as somebody who tab targets a lot, the tab key's in the wrong place, so that makes it just a little bit useless for playing this particular game. It's nice and quiet, but as a tank who needs to be able to quickly transfer stuff between adversaries, it's not great. Ooh, don't stand in that. This is the last one I want. And we also need to find Illuminati pots. And these are apparently within the Architecton. Those are not what we want, those are for the Fate. I could probably have got the 6 of those whilst I was in here. But that would have required planning ahead and forethought. Two things that are not high on my list of skill sets. In here? In here. Oh wow, there's a lot of people in here. Oh dear. No, this is fine. We can do this. We're higher level than these things are. And as I said before, if we get into trouble, we can just switch the Chocobo to healer stance and he will spam heals on us. Which is great. Don't stand in the drill. Right. One pot. Over there. That. Pain. Oh, the other one's over there. That's annoying. Yeah. Oh, at least the other one disappeared. The fight going on out here, Metal Gear's Revengeance, is a big chain of fights with some pretty nice rewards, to be honest. It actually comes into this room. It's a boss fight, so I don't really want to get involved in it. Yeah, right, let's return to Excelsior. Bum, bum, bum. Let's get these gear upgrades before we go and do anything else. Right, helmets. Gloves. And the other one was out here. Bum bum ba dum bum 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 ba da da dum. And the body piece. Which apparently we can't equip because we've got Right, so we still need the feet. Still quite a few things to get actually. But we are getting there. Okay, so we need to come through past the Gobwatch. By order of Chief Ffxiv, uplanders can come and go at will. One moment for clearing away barricade. Finally, we can continue our journey. Jesus. Oh, goblins. Don't you just love them? Ahem. Barring any misadventure, we shall soon arrive at the cave where Matoya resides. Unless you have unfinished business in Idleshire, let us strike out at once. I'm ready whenever you are. Let us go and meet the legendary Matoya. Matoya is awesome. Ahead lies the Answering Quarter, where the scholars of Sharlayan gathered to hone their knowledge. Even from this distance, 'tis plain that much of it has been given back to the wilderness. The cave in which Matoya resides is situated on the southern edge of the hinterlands. In choosing the spot, my master desired privacy above all else. As such, the cave is extremely well hidden. You'll not find it unless you know to look for it. We shall follow the road south until we reach a bridge. Rather than cross it, however, we shall ford the stream it spans, then head straight until we arrive at the base of a bluff. Okay, so this side of the river has got some ether currents for us to collect. There's one up there. You also notice the enemies are roughly the same level as on the other side. I was going to say we're probably going to have to fight that crawler. Crawlers give me flashbacks to FF11. Crawler's Nest, where I spent a lot of time levelling jobs. Can't actually remember what level we went to the Crawler's Nest. Late 30s, maybe? Right, that's one. In fact, I believe that was the one that... Yeah, it's not on the bridge here, it was we're further over. This is the other side of the broken bridge that we couldn't get to before. There's a couple of dungeons in this zone. One of them's level 60. Well, two of them are level 60 technically, because one of them's a hard mode. Southwest. Oh, there he is. We've also got some colibri, which again, like many enemies in this game, are Final Fantasy 11 enemies. I'm sure there may be from other games as well. Right, there's the big bluff that Ishtola was talking about. And we're going to go through this kind of marshy area to get to Matoya's cave. The Quickspill Delta. I don't know actually where the next thing is. I think I have a feeling it may be up there. Now around here, as well as some leeches and these serpenty things, there are also some pirogos. Oh no, it is over here. And these little frogs actually guard Matoya's cave. Which is against this seemingly impenetrable wall. Or behind, rather, this seemingly impenetrable wall. This is the entrance. You seem unconvinced. Well, that will only add to the surprise. A word of warning before we proceed. Stubborn geniuses make poor hosts, and time will have done nothing to improve my master's temperament. Doubt not but there will be sentinels and traps both to deter unwanted guests, but we'll not be deterred, will we? Go on and touch the wall over there. You'll want to have your weapon near at hand. Oh yes, there's a... There's a load of frogs. Excuse me. Just like in previous Final Fantasy games, the progos cast a variety of song-style magics, as do the ones in the dungeon that features them as enemies. Their sentinels may suffice to discourage the average trespasser, but not the warrior of light. The way should now be clear. Come, let's go and see my master. It's magic.
Don't you know it's rude to enter without knocking? The youth of today. No manners at all.
Yes, I can kind of empathise with Matoya. And here she is.
Though we neglected to knock, we did create something of a commotion. I had hoped that would suffice.
The snark between Ishtola and Matoya is real.
Heavy-handed as ever, I see. And still not a hint of grace. Some things never change.
To give credit where credit is due, I learned from the best. It has been too long, Master Matoya.
Indeed it has. Oh, it's good to see you again, my girl. And with your fiery spirit unquenched. But look at you, all grown up and womanly. The one there in the fancy duds, That's Louis-Soir's granddaughter, I take it?
Grandson, begging your pardons. You knew my grandfather, my lady.
Knew him? Ha! We were constantly at each other's throats. Like rabid dogs we were. Oh, he was a stubborn bugger, was your grandfather. Never a dull moment when he was around, though, I'll give him that. As for you, boy, I've known you since you were a rosy-cheeked babe at the teat.
Ha.
And my sister too, I gather. May I say what an honor it is to meet you again, my lady?
Spare me the hollow pleasantries, boy. I'll wager my remaining good teeth you didn't come to a forgotten corner of Eorzea to flirt with a wrinkly old woman. Now out with it. What is it you need of me?
Knowledge.
Azizla. I never thought I'd hear that name again.
Oh, so she knows of it.
You are familiar with it?
As familiar as one can get from poring over musty old tomes. The Allagans set the Isle afloat not long before the sun set on their empire. Old Louis-Soir and I often talked about it.
Really?
The place is home to a research facility dedicated to finding ways of mastering mighty beings, such as primals and dragons. And find ways it did too. Frightening ones.
Ah, so maybe that is why the Archbishop wants to go to the place, because if he can claim mastery over primals, then he can invoke their magic. We will actually get to go to this research facility.
Such secrets as lie buried on Azizla aren't fit to see the light of day. And now you tell me a band of dragon-baiting primal botherers are trying to dig them up?
Pretty much, yes.
Indeed. And to make matters worse, the Ascians have a hand in their plot. They must be stopped, no matter the cost.
I see. Very well.
She doesn't sound happy.
You will help us then? Truly? I had not anticipated such an impassioned response. Could it be that the presence of young blood has stirred your own?
Some things never change. One day that pertness is going to cost you your tail, my girl. Don't say I didn't warn you.
I like his style of snarkiness. I very much miss her snark in Stormblood, because she spends a good chunk of Stormblood sitting out. So that gives us our mount speed increase in this particular zone, which is very welcome. Matoya is in a mood to reminisce. This is the first level 59 quest, I believe.
'Twas some 50 years ago, shortly after Garlemald had brought all of Ilsabard under its rule. Faced with a threat of invasion, the people of Sharlayan scrambled about for a means to resist the Empire. For my part, I was tasked with developing an etheric converger.
Ah, yes, a device which draws in ether and concentrates it to produce a destructive force.
It's the one.
But as my research neared its end, it was denounced by the Forum, who claimed that my device was more likely to destroy us than our enemies. After that, they and I had a little falling out, and I decided to seal away all the fruits of my research, lest the dunder-headed ingrates reap any benefit. Ha! Petty, I know, but gods, it was satisfying.
Some great voice acting from whoever it is that got to play Matoya.
Do mine ears deceive? 'Twas you, was it not, who was so fond of saying that all knowledge exists to advance mankind? But how it is used depends on us.
I don't remember. Perhaps. All right, yes. It was a pet phrase of mine. And that should give you a notion of how sick and tired I was of those spineless wretches of the Forum. All talk and no trousers, that lot. That's why I decided to remain behind, rather than join the Exodus.
Yeah, so she didn't go back
You
to
may
the
have had your
homeland.
disagreements with my grandfather, but upon that point, your minds were as one.
With respect, Master, the fruits of your research should not be left to spoil. Will you share with us the secrets of the etheric converger?
No.
Aye, I will. All the information you need is contained in a tome I wrote on the subject. But you'll have to fetch it from the forbidden section of the Great Library.
Aha.
You were not exaggerating when you said that you had sealed it away. Though the city is abandoned, the library's guardians are all but certain to remain. We must needs cut a path through them. Come, let us away.
Not so fast, you lot. Stola and the boy are staying with me. I need help to make new sentinels to replace the old ones you walloped. They'll be board and lodging, don't you worry. But know that you'll have to work for them. Hard. I'll have no sluggards in my house.
The Sentinels are the frogs. They are actually magical constructs, not natural creatures. So we get to go and fight our way through the Great Google Library, while the others... Oh, the Great Library's guardians shouldn't pose any difficulty for a hero like you. You'll hardly notice Stola's absence, and the girl, boy, whatever, would only get in your way. But if it turns out you aren't up to the task, well, then I'll know you can't be trusted with something as dangerous as an etheric ram. Now, the library's entrance is locked tight. I'll loan you one of my servants to open it, the broom yonder. Well, what are you waiting for? Introduce yourself, girl. Yes, so we get to go and... little cutscene for this one. You don't get many cutscenes for the Ether current quest. Okay, so we get to go and eliminate some bugs for the frog creature construct sentinel thing. Incidentally, all of the brooms have got little pieces of different dialogue. There's also, quite randomly, a junkmonger here who you can buy and sell stuff from. He does have an orchestrion and some level 58 gear. Greetings, good madam. I am Broomsy, my lady's servant of some 50 years. May I say what an honour it is to serve you. I am given to understand that you wish to enter the Great Google Library. To find it, pray head east upon leaving this cave. The building will come into view shortly after you reach the collapsed bridge. I shall go on ahead and await you at the entrance. When your preparations are in order, pray come and meet me there. It will be my pleasure to unlock the door for you. Okay, so we're going to go and make our way up to the Great Google Library. But before we do that, I'm just going to quickly stretch my legs because I'm going to need it before we do the dungeon. Back in a mo. Alrighty then. Oh, we may as well do this whilst we are here. These are the flies. I think we might actually hit level 60 from this main story quest. If we don't hit it from the quest, we will certainly hit it from the dungeon. But yeah, I'm pretty certain we'll hit it from the quest. Going to go in and in fact this quest might push us over the edge. Also, I really love the music in here. This is the Matora's Cave music from was it Final Fantasy 4? Was it 6? I can't remember. Ah, you are no longer on the road to 60. So we will stop getting the benefits of the double XP buff. Froggy. There's a really pretty cave down here, which as far as I'm aware isn't used for anything. Maybe there's a fate or something that's there at some point. Some dodos over here. Okay, so we want to be heading up to this massive and cool looking structure up there, which is the library. And Broomsy should be waiting for us near the top. How many ether currents are we missing? 2 to find and 2 from quests. Right, and there's one. Don't jump off there. You can jump off there if I remember correctly. I don't recommend you do so. Actually, can you? No, you can't jump off there. There are certain places where you can actually jump off, and it's a reasonably long hike round. Right, you are standing before the Great Google Library, one of Heideland's foremost repositories of knowledge. Alas, it has fallen into disuse since the Exodus some summers since. In all those years its halls have welcomed not the coming of a single soul, its floors felt not the loving brush of a broom. Mine apologies, madam. Pray pay no mind to the dreams of a humble broom. You are doubtless eager to venture within and retrieve my lady's tome. I shall unlock the door at once. When you have what you seek, pray return to the cave and report to my lady. So, that allows us entrance to the Great Google Library. Just before we do that, I'm going to go and pick up that final ether current. Which I suspect is... there's a sightseeing thing there. It's there. Right, and that should be... yes, that's all of them. Okie dokie. So the Great Google Library, built by the learned men and women of Charlian. The Great Google Library is the grandest repository of knowledge in all of Eorzea. Lining its towering shelves are tomes beyond count, gathered from the furthest reaches of the realm. Like the city-state, however, the library was abandoned by its caretakers when they fled to their motherland in the face of the Garlean invasion. And now, 15 years since its doors were sealed, you will be the first soul to set foot even, within its halls. Your destination is the Forbidden Section, deep within the library where lies your objective, the fruit of Matora's research on the etheric converger. You notice there's an item level sync here. This particular dungeon is synced down to item level 150. Not entirely sure why at this point, but whatevs. Whilst we are waiting... oh wow! That's the considerable acute armour. While we are waiting for the queue to pop, we're going to go back to Foundation and turn in that other... oh. 13 minutes, my arse. I was going to say 13 minutes for a tank queue was a bit unlikely. That's a lot of books. A lot of people love the music in this particular dungeon. I quite like it. I won't say I love it, but I do quite like it. Hi all. Right, let's just switch that to that. Let's get some food on the go. Can't remember whether anything else spawns in this room. It's been a long time since I've done it. Well, that's not technically true. It's been a long time since I've tanked it, let's put it that way. No shock that we have both a samurai and a red mage in this party. School of Phantasmagoria. This looks like a mob on its own. It's not a mob on its own. Oh, I did actually finally go and check about Abyssal Drain. It turns out it's had that increased enmity thing all the time. I just didn't realise. Whilst I was looking through my screenshots for earlier, I noticed that I actually took a screenshot of the ability when I got it way back in June of 2015, which was when the Dark Knight had just been released and Heavensward was just released. So yeah, it's always had increased enmity. Didn't know that. Still not entirely sure why there are falcons in here. What actually have we got in this party, level-wise? They're slightly above us. One thing that I like that they did for Stormblood was that they removed the new job abilities from the job quests. So when we hit level 62, we will gain Delirium and 64 Quietus. There won't be any quest that we have to do, which is great. Ouch. Concentrating. Yes, there is a hard mode version of this dungeon, which is a considerable amount of fun. Always try and stand in the protective bubble. All three healers have got some kind of protective circle to stand in, so do them a favour, stand in it. First treasure coffer's got nothing except potion-y type things in it. And here's the first boss, the Demon Tome. Which aggroes from range, I've forgotten. There's no need to have your tank stance on from this because he doesn't technically need tanking. Heal some of these purple lines on the floor, you don't want to stand in them. If you do stand in them, I think you get slowed. He also shoots out a Blizzard AoE at the same time. Try not to stand in that either. Then he'll cast Repel and knock everybody back. And then he will cast Disclosure, which closes the book, and you want to run behind him before he finishes his cast. Then he'll spin round. I actually lost aggro then. That's bad of me. Yeah, he'll spin round and knock everybody back. Can't knock you off the edge for this bit. Winds of Winter freezes the floor like we saw in the Shiva fight. It's not a big issue currently, but it will be once again he starts spinning around and stuff. You'll notice that actually the range for this can get knocked off the edge. Don't know what happened to the samurai there. There is a space just there at his wings where you can get knocked off the edge. So you do want to try not to get to let that happen to you. Yeah, the fight just repeats now. If you time it right, you can plunge back just as he's knocking people back. Ooh. Hello, new ring. Okay, this corridor features some spandules, which are gremlins. They're a pain in the arse. You can pull them down to this. You want to kill the page 64 first. You also want to make sure that you don't aggro that pack up the top there, which not everybody is smart enough to do. Gremlins will put the misery debuff on you, which cannot be cleansed, but it can be gotten rid of by targeting the afflicted person and using the comfort emote on them. Our scholars out of MP. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, we can't get to this door here, which is where we want to go, until we've cleared out. Yes, the gremlins do shout, "Go and bugger yourself." They're lovely like that. They do hit quite hard though. It's one of the reasons why I made sure I went and did those quests for gear, because I knew this was coming up. Ah, that never gets old. So again, you want to kill the page 64 as fast as possible, because he just targets random people and does a lot of damage besides. If you are interested in the lore or the storytelling of the game, all of the books in this library are actually readable. You can go and check out some bits and pieces. Well, the books themselves, I shan't say are readable. That you can read bits and pieces to do with them. You can try and pull these enemies into this room where there's more stuff to fight, but the air elemental is a little bit of a pain to get to follow you, because it's a caster, it's ranged. Right, this should open up the way to I think the second boss is coming up soon. Yeah, there he is. Remember to put that ring on. Right, this is Biblios, or Biblos even. This is a cool fight. You can fight him wherever you want to start with, just turn him away from the party. I believe page 2 is a cleave attack which will hit other people, so you don't want to be standing in front of him if you're a DPS. He'll do head down, which is a charge move. It's got a knockback attached to it as well. And at 70% he'll run himself into the centre where he will become invincible. And then he'll summon 2 page 64s. Ideally you want to pick one of them, and that will tether a glowing orb to you. Very slow moving glowing orb, which you want to pull to knock into the boss to knock him off his perch. Then he'll start randomly targeting people for Gale Cut, which leaves these wind things here and about. You can actually get rid of them by walking into them. I can't remember whether heads down does more damage if you are up close or not. Not entirely sure what our samurai is doing. Right, now you want to guide the orb around now. If it takes too long to get there, it will disappear. Yeah, so you want to make sure that there's no gas orbs in its path, because if they're exploding near or it runs into them, then it blows up the little orb, and that's not good. Most people will use a limit break on him. Right, 3 imps. They look like casters, but they will actually bunch up if you play your cards right. If you're a Dark Knight, you can pop Dark Mind to mitigate a little bit extra magic damage from these guys. Because I don't think they've got physical attack, they're just spam blizzard. Right, these things cannot be stunned out of Void Call. They are, however, quite squishy, which is good. They're a lot worse in Palace of the Dead. These things can be stunned out of Terror Eye. Right, round the corner here is Logos, or Logos, which means word in Greek. I believe all of the enemies in this dungeon are named after scholarly things. More library things. Two Araman speed readers. You can fight these guys separately. And actually, if you are level 59 and tanking this, I do recommend that you tank these separately, because the Logos actually hits quite hard. If, however, you are on the road to 60, you will definitely not be. 59 by this level, unless you've gone back to do Dark Knight or one of the other jobs from Heavensward. You'll be fine if you switch to Red Mage or Samurai of 50. Treasure cover here. Just some prisms. Right, down these steps you'll see the Scatane there. He's all on his own, but halfway down the stairs he'll summon a page 64. The Scatane's going to summon some demons regardless. As before, kill the page 64 first, then preferably the Scatane because it's squishy. and then whichever the biblioclast is lower. Treasure chest here contains a weapon, usually. And this is the Forbidden Vault. Oh, looks like the chest contains some earrings. Interesting. I thought it always had a weapon, but clearly I am mistaken. Right, I like to mark people for this, for a mechanic that we're going to see shortly. Just so that you know where people are. So the Bibliotaph actually, as a tank, is not a particularly exciting fight. He will mark things on people which will leave a void orb on the ground. You don't want to be standing in that. When he starts casting Void Call, you want to be running around the room and filling in all of those. Yeah, if he targets you, you do... Wow. Well, this is a wipe. I don't think Red Mage gets res yet, does it? Yeah. Right, you'll notice that there are pairs. These things deal damage. If you don't manage to lock off the things, then the it summons a load of ads. Yeah, I don't know what our healer was doing then, but he certainly wasn't paying attention to the obvious things. Yeah, you want to ideally plan, if you get targeted by one of those void orb thingies, you want to put them in between the platforms that you have to stand on for the void call. Otherwise, you take unnecessary damage, and they hit quite hard. 2k or so, was it? Doesn't tell me. Also, it's a bit of a run back. Sadly, you cannot leap over the edge here. I do really like the glowy red books though. I think they're a cool looking aesthetic. Just like the fact that the books are chained to the shelves in this section. It really does give you a nice sense of delving into the depths of a forgotten and forbidden area. Let's see whether people are ready. I should probably put the D on my my bar since it's now available. Yeah, once you drop the orb, you want to after you've made sure those platforms are locked off, you can get back to DPSing the boss. You don't need to wait for him to finish casting or anything like that. I got it, brilliant. I think our samurai's gone AFK. No, it's just not really paying a whole lot of attention. So yes, Deep Darkness is a ring around the outside. Magic Burst is a ring around the inside, which is again is one of the reasons why you want to be paying attention to where you're putting the orbs. You will start doing it on 3 people eventually, and then he's going to yeah, we're going to have an antifight. Now's a really good time to limit break. There we go. And that's it. So there we are. That is the ever-living Bibliotaph dead. Good job. Machinist. Samurai. What did we get? We got the bangle. Wow, we've only just upgraded that. Ooh, sweet. 3 commendations. Because we're awesome. And I can't remember which one this gives us. Fire? Water. Not entirely sure why water. Maybe because ink is water based. Oh look. After all that. And there we go. That is the Great Google Library hard. Just answer this text message. Okay, so back to Matoya. Don't turn round, don't turn round, don't turn round. That's not what I meant to click on. That's what I meant to click on. Yes, that gives us the ether current. Did we still need to get one more after that? Yeah, there's another quest with one somewhere. Maybe it's after this. I can't remember. I can't remember. Well, actually, maybe it's in... No. We shall find out. You see, we got a chunk of XP. But the amount needed to level from 60 to 61 obviously is quite a lot now. I take it you found the tome. Well, let's see it then. Ah, this is it, all right. Stola, boy, put down whatever you're doing and come here. Demajen has returned with the tome. Oh, thank the gods, but another minute under Master Matoya's exacting supervision and I would certainly have lost my mind. Or mayhap mainly my temper. Some things never change indeed. Well, I for one appreciate the exacting supervision. In the short while we've been here, I feel I've gained a far better understanding of arcane entities than I did during my entire time at the studium. Should the opportunity present itself, I should very much like to employ this knowledge for the betterment of mankind. Create a new variety of carbuncle, perhaps. And he actually does do that as well. Oof, don't get ahead of yourself, boy. Heavensward's grandson, I know it'll take another decade under me before you can call yourself a scholar. And a deal more than that to make you a scholar worth a damn. As you may have gathered, Master Matoya is not easily impressed. Indeed. So, Demajen's returned with the tome, has she not? Shall we examine it?
I had not thought to behold this tome again.
That's one way to unlock a book.
There. It is deciphered. Now your friend should be able to make sense of the contents.
Good.
That said, it's one thing to understand the workings of the etheric converger, and another to actually make it work. You do realize how much ether is required?
No, we don't. That's why we've kind of come here.
Sid is keenly aware of the energy dilemma. His airship is by no means large, and it can only bear a limited quantity of crystals.
If only we had white aurosite in the etheric siphon.
Alas, Minfilia is missing along with both artifacts, and Moonbreeder is gone.
Would that there were another ready wellspring of energy for us to draw upon.
Why did it not occur to us before? We already have what we need! The Eye! It has been drawing ether into itself for as long as the Great Worms have lived. It is a veritable wellspring of energy.
Yep, we just need Justinian.
It might just suit our needs. But is this energy something that can be harnessed at will?
Pretty much.
I believe so, with the aid of the Azure Dragoon of Ishgard.
Then it is settled. Let us return to the Holy See at once.
We'll just walk away while...
Stola, wait. When did the light fade from your eyes?
Ah, we've asked this question already, but now we're finally going to get some actual information about it.
I might have known that it would not escape your notice. It has been this way since I returned from the life stream. An after effect of the teleportation magic I invoked, most like.
They are called forbidden spells for a reason. What were you thinking, girl?
I have no regrets. I but did what was necessary to preserve the light of hope, to keep my promise to Minfilia. Besides, it afforded me the rare opportunity to wander the ether, a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
I need not tell you that it consumes your very life force to see by sensing the ether around you. Take care of yourself. Do you hear me?
Yes, so Estella no longer sees like normal people do. She sees in, I don't know, ether sense or something like that. She sees ether around her rather than flesh and blood and so on and so forth.
I will, Master Matoya. And thank you.
But in order to do that, it draws on her own life force. Now, the life force in Final Fantasy is replenished by the ether, but it draws on her own personal wellspring of it. And if she uses too much, it'll probably kill her. That wouldn't be good. Thanks to your customarily heroic efforts, we now possess the knowledge to build an etheric ram. All that remains is to secure its energy source. Let us hasten back to Ishgard and consult Sir Emmerich regarding the eye. I don't know where we get the last ether current from. Maybe we have to come back here. I has forgotten. I don't know. Right, let us head to the Forgotten Night. Ooh, actually, scratch that. Let's go to the jewel crozier. Because I seem to recall we can now access... I think this is the case, but I think we can access the higher level 60 armour. Yes. Yes, we can. It's admittedly kind of expensive, but it's also a quite massive increase in stats. Has some of that gone into our inventory? No. So if we compare these two, it's basically doubling everything. Sort. Yeah, see, it is basically doubling everything. Did I not buy the trousers? No, I got the belt, but I didn't get the trousers. Belt. Hose. And where's the jewel crafter? Oh, apparently that was the first time we've converted any materia. Right, earrings. Right, that gives us a massive increase in DPS and stuff. But it does mean that we are a tad low on cash. However, we do have a few things that we can sell. So let's see how much these things actually sell for. These may or may not actually sell, I have no idea. Let's see, we also picked up some bits and pieces. Right, they're all low level. I didn't realise we could sell those. Can we sell these visors? No. Do. Right, that will do for now. So hopefully we will get some cash back from those. Fingers crossed. Right, we were going to do this earlier and then the dungeon popped, didn't we? So we're going to go speak with Ardlin. And once again he gives us the task of going to go and look at the hunts board. And this will open up the rank 3 stuff for us. And while we are here, we'll pick up some more level 1s to replace those. And we'll grab... But we'll grab the full set. Because you don't need to complete a stack, you just need to... So 2-star, 3-star. And we can do those whenever we want. Ah, you are returned. Sir Emmerich, I am pleased to see that your recovery proceeds apace. May I introduce you Stola, a fellow Scion of the Seventh Dawn and Archon of Charlemagne. My lord, pray excuse me for forgoing due pleasantries, but we seek your counsel regarding the etheric ram. Though we now possess the knowledge to build such a device, we yet lack an appropriate source of energy with which to power it. We believe, however, that Ishgard may possess the solution to our problem. You need not apologise, my lady. Full eager am I to learn of your progress. Please, tell me of this energy source that you believe we possess. The Eye of Nidhogg. And you are certain that the Eye can lend its power to Master Matoya's etheric converger? At Justinian's command, yes. Very well, I shall speak with him. My thanks, Sir Emmerich. Nay, my friend, 'tis I who should thank you, as should every Ishgardian. You labour in our name with no real care for your own safety. Let us next speak with Sid. He will doubtless be eager to begin work on the etheric ram. Indeed he shall. Bum bum bum. Bum bum. I'm assuming... Oh, he's not. He's at the airship landing. I was going to say, I'm assuming he's at the manufactory. I would be wrong. Ooh, looks like they've been doing some upgrades. They've got a fancy Magitech engine now. Hi, Sid. Ah, you're back. The preliminary work on the Enterprise is more or less finished. Tell me you found a way to build the etheric ram. Greetings, Sid. It's been a while. This tome contains the fruits of my former master's research on a device known as an etheric converger. Our ram should operate on the self-same principle. Ach, where are my manners? Put a toy like this in my hands and I go off into my own world. Gods, it's good to see you. And bearing a gift besides. A very distracting one, if I might add. If I didn't know better, I'd think it was my birthday. But there'll be time for tearful reunions later. I'll make a start on the tome right away. So long as I have a grasp of the fundamentals, I should be able to knock something together. Which leaves the small matter of the energy source. We believe we found a solution to that problem as well. Pray, forgive us our lateness. There's a lot of apologising for being late in Heavensward, I've noticed. Oh. The power of the eye is not to be drawn upon lightly, but I believe we have sufficient cause to do so. So, this is the fabled eye. By the 12, it seethes. It's a good word, seethes. It is a wonder such power can be contained, much less controlled. Boys, our friends have kindly provided all the ingredients. Let's see if we can't make something out of them. You hear the chief. We're not resting until the etheric ram is operational. Not one wink of sleep. Oh, thinking can't choke about. Ishtola. Oh. These guys have got funky weapons. They've got the Shiva. Yes, they've got the Shiva weapons. Fancy. Alpha now has a final task for you before departing for Azizlar. In fact, just before we do this... Right. Just stretch my shoulder out. Given the danger of the task that lies before us, I think it only right that we take a moment to bid our friends and allies farewell. Alas, Cid requires my assistance with Master Montoya's rather singular writings. Might I entrust the task of visiting those who will remain behind to you? Just thought. 270. So, the hour is nigh. Would that I could join you in the coming battle, but with my wounds I fear it would only be a burden to you. In consorting with the Assassins and availing himself of primal powers, my father made himself an enemy of all that is good and right in the world. Do whatever you must to end his madness. May the Fury watch over you. So you'll notice we're saying goodbye to quite a few people. This is kind of the... I suppose it's supposed to feel like the point of no return that you normally get in a Final Fantasy game, where you go off on the final mission. But of course, it being in an MMO, that's not really how it works. Just pick these up while we're here. Right, Tataru has changed her outfit again. So, you'll have to face the Archbishop then. Please be careful, and watch over the others, will you? We've lost too many friends as it is. Some may yet return to us, but I couldn't bear to lose anyone else. I just couldn't. I realise it's asking a lot, but you're the strongest person I know, and I don't think there's anything you can't achieve if you put your mind to it. So please, whatever else happens, keep everyone safe. We shall certainly try. Where am I going? Go say goodbye to Lucia. Ah, this is it then. Go well, my friend. I shall pray to the Fury for your preservation. Perhaps you think it strange that a daughter of Garlemald should pray? I don't blame you. I used to think it passing strange myself. But that'll change when I discovered something dearer to me than mine own life. Thereafter, praying seemed the most natural thing in the world. Prayers are born of heartfelt faith. In manipulating the people's beliefs for his own twisted ends, the Archbishop makes a mockery of their very existence. It cannot be borne. So again, a lot in Heavensward about the power of faith and what faith can do, and about how it can warp and corrupt. Boom. Yeah, so goodbyes to Hilda. Well, if it ain't my old friend Demajen, off to fancy Archbishop and his Cronus, is it? I'd love to go and give those bastards a good walloping myself, that snake shower bear especially, but I've got to stay here and keep an eye on things. With the Archbishop gone, some of the poor folk might get in their heads to do something stupid like storming the pillars. But blood won't get us what we want. I need to be around to remind them of that in case they forget. No need to worry about us. Anyway, I'll work with Sir Emmerich to preserve the peace. You just concentrate on settling the score with the Archbishop, eh? We shall certainly try. Go speak with Lord Edmond. Welcome. Mistress Thornley, how good of you to pay me a visit. It feels as if it were only yesterday when first we met here in this chamber. You came to us a fugitive seeking asylum, and now you bear the hopes of our nation upon your shoulders. Aww. He would not have told you, but when Orshafon begged me to accept you into our household, he described you as hope incarnate. At the time I assumed that he was waxing lyrical, as was his wont, but I've come to see that he simply spoke the truth. You are hope, a shining beacon that shall guide the people of Ishgard through this raging snowstorm. A memento. Were my son here, he would have wished to fight at your side in the battle to come. Take care, my friend, and return to us. Determination! Yes, as I seem to recall, we actually get... Did we get Orshafon's shield yet? Or do we get it as a key item? Maybe we don't get it yet. We do get Orshafon's shield as an actual item. At some point. Clearly not yet, though. Right, just before... Just before we do this, I just want to quickly nip to Idleshire, whatever, and see if I can actually afford... Ooh. Blah 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 blah. Yes, he unlocks the Wondrous Tales system for us. Which is not massively exciting, and I've barely done any of it. Oh, Midnight Dew. Midnight Dew, I think, has that final quest for... Yes. And that's where we get the Wondrous Tales thing from. I'm going to skip that. So we obtain a copy of Wondrous Tales, and what this does, it gives us a set of criteria. And we can complete these things, and each one we complete will give us a seal, and basically completing lines is the objective. Right, just going to quickly go and take stock, as it were. Which side's the answering quarter? That side. Because I'd like to be able to fly. A new journal will be available from Chloe Alipo every week on Tuesday at 9 AM Earth time. Oh, actually, damn it, that's not even why I came here, is it? I came here because I want to go to Rowena's. Getting distracted. Because I want to see if 270 seals can get us anything. Because in all honesty, I can't remember. No. It'll get us. Nah. Yeah, they are a bit of an upgrade, but not a huge amount. Keep forgetting that you can mount up in it. Yeah, our 255 gear will be okay anyway. It's certainly okay for pretty much all of the Heavensward endgame content. Back when this stuff was around, the cap was nowhere near 260, or 270 I think is the maximum you can get. With the enhanced Shire gear. Right. That's not Midnight Joe. Where is she? Around here somewhere. Searching for stolen goods. Yeah, mobiles. I actually can't for the life of me remember what I'm going to go for this quest. Not up there. I think it's atop one of these buildings or other. Well, that one. Ooh. Right, this is not that one. It's not that one. Aha! Right. And we'll do massive damage to these, obviously, because it's a level 58 quest, but we are using very high level gear in comparison, which is great. Yes, there are several job quests that we need to do for Dark Knight, the level 58 one, which will get us Sole Survivor, and the level 61, which will get us Carve and Spit. I'm not going to do those on stream because I'm recording those for a separate video, which I'm going to splice together. Oops. And that unlocks our flying forest. There are further quests in that chain. But it means we can go a-flying. Which is great. It means we can fly in all but one. The Heavensward zones now. There's a cool little cave up there. Oh, and a sightseeing point. We might as well grab that while we're here. It's 18k XP for free. And down there, under that ruin, this is where Alexander is, and the reason why it's in a big bubble, there's a story reason, and there's also a very practical reason that eventually Alexander takes up most of that space. So we're basically now in a similar situation to what we were at level 50 with the 2.x contents. We'd hit the level cap, and the amount that you needed to get to the next level jumps up, but the quests don't give an increased amount of XP, and in fact once we finish the 3.0 quest we will run into exactly the same problem, in the sense that they've added XP to them, but it's certainly not high. But they will give us some nice gear upgrades like the 2.x stuff did, so that we can prepare ourselves for Stormblood. Not entirely sure what gear it gives you, because I actually haven't looked at the web page on it. Just unlocking these final areas of the map. Saint Mosian's Arboretum is a dungeon. You get to go in there. It's one of the 3.x dungeons. Again, quite good. Can't remember too much about it, but I remember it being a fun dungeon. I find most of the dungeons fun though. Bit biased. Pum 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 pum. So we're a really, really long way above things. Quite how that is held up is anybody's guess. There's a little ledge over here that I seem to recall you can land on. Don't know whether it's used for anything. Oh, there's a sightseeing log. First, that does give us a very nice view. Yeah, you'll see we're getting 19,440 XP per section of the map that we uncover, and we will get a chunk as well for uncovering the whole map. Now obviously if you waited until 60 to do this in 3.x, all that XP was wasted. But now it will add to your next level. There we go. See, we've got a big chunk there. And if you go up this way, it actually takes you into the Western Highlands in an area that we couldn't get to before because we couldn't fly. This is Red Rim. It's not a huge amount up here. There's some yetis and there's some caves down there, some of which have got things in. Various chunks of the map that we haven't unlocked. Oh, there's also some dragons in this northern area. Didn't get a chance to explore this properly. This is Twin Pools. This is the ash-covered sleeping dragon who has a sightseeing point on his head. There's another frozen dragon, and I notice he's got a dragoon's spear in his head, which you can actually land on. Can't remember which emote you have to do for this one. Pray, cheer. Oh. So it's me. Ouch. So typically it's the last one. Can get a better view of the Dusk Vigil. Most of them are lookout. Right, you couldn't get up to this area before because there's this big ass frozen waterfall. Oh no, wait, you can get to this area. It's a bit further on that you can't. Or rather that you wouldn't want to, because there's lots of level 56 stuff here. There's a gate over to the Sea of Clouds up here. And this ice-locked boat, the North Star, which is kind of cool. You do come here for a quest at some point, but I can't remember when or why. Right, there's a couple more areas to go to. This big ash fir tree. Can't say I'd ever noticed that before. Why is there a huge fir tree? Must be there for a reason. And this should be... yeah, that's the last bit. And again, it gives us a nice chunk. Now this is a much better way of exploring the Sea of Clouds. It is, as I think I said way back when we got to it, you'll also notice that now that we've got to 60, I think this is when these open up, the Vanu Beast Tribe quests have unlocked. But yes, there's a lot of verticality to this level of the map. All the way up here. And you can see these are level kind of 59, 60-ish mobs, so there's a lot of fates and stuff that happen up here. There's also, we should be able to see it from up here. Or maybe we can't. Oh, yeah, there. There's an island that's shaped like a Moogle's head with a pom-pom. No, I don't know why either. That way takes us back to Curthus Western Highlands. Dum, 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 dum. The amount of XP that you get is a percentage of whatever it is to your next level. So it doesn't really matter when you do it. Though obviously if you are coming into the game now, it's a pretty decent thing to do, as we are doing now at 60 and going through and unlocking everything, because obviously you can maximise the amount of XP that you get from it. Yeah, I think the Sea of Clouds, more than any other zone, has got... It's got a lot to unlock. A lot more than any other zone. It's also the biggest zone in terms of where things can be. The elite hunt mobs, the one here, there are several, I think there's 3 different ones. They're a bit of a nightmare to find. What the hell is that? Ooh, that is the first time I've seen him. That's, I don't know whether it's an A rank or an S rank hunt mob. Yes, you'll notice that there's a lot of this map to unlock, simply because there's a lot of this map. And because it's so multi-tiered, it's a really cool map though. Lots of bright colours, as I think I said, especially compared to the Curthus Highlands, which is very much snow and ice and snow and ice and snow and ice. This is blue sky and clouds, and does have some really kind of dynamic and interesting weather effects here as well. Lots of open space. I mean, this is very clearly a zone that you could not have had if flying was not available. The amount of contrivances you'd have to have. You'll notice over here, the beastmen have got an aetheryte. I do not know, off the top of my head, if this is used for anything. But it's here. Maybe you have to do it for the extreme version of Bismarck. I don't know. I don't think I ever did it. One thing about this map, the Beast Tribe quests send you all over the shop, and they're a little bit more annoying to do because obviously the map is so large it can take you a substantial amount of time to traverse it. So if the quest starts over here and it sends you down to here, as some of them do, it is just a tad irritating. Boom, 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 boom. And there we go. That's the Sea of Clouds. We've done the Western Highlands. Let's go have a look at Dravonia. Did the Forelands. Go to the Churning Mists. There are a lot of Moogle quests here now. You also notice there's a massive chunk of this zone that we didn't explore either. A lot of these cool floating islands have got little bits and pieces of architecture or sculpture or something on them. Also, hunt mobs could sometimes spawn on them as well. For example, I pointed out these fancy statues while we were doing the main story quest. If it looks like it's a place of religious significance, chances are you're going to have to pray at it. And again, this is one of those areas that you cannot get to. A weeping maiden. Mother of the Ffxiv. Does it tell us what that is? No. Might it tell us what that is in another quest? Possibly. Yeah. There's only so high we can fly. I don't think we can get all the way to the top of the tips of these things. No, that's as high as we can fly. We got the lookout from there, if I remember correctly. But yes, over here, we took a look at all this broken terrain, but we couldn't. Well, we could technically get to it, but there was no real need to. There are a couple of floating islands. Can't get to that tower down there. There's a couple of fates that spawn up here, as well as some of these dinosaurs. They are often on the hunt log. Some golems down here and some trees. Tree mobs. Can't remember what's up over here. Oh, more dinosaurs. Western Waters. I don't really remember coming up this far. Don't think there was a need to. That's part of a big boss fight chain down there, I think. See, I've been to a lot of these places repeatedly for hunts and fates and stuff, but I've only done the story quest once. There's some dragons up here. They are often hunt mobs as well. You can't fly too close to the area. You run into an invisible wall there. Almost done. Does make you wonder just how much thought that they actually put into what these were before. Yeah, before everything got ruined. There's a Moogle down there. Yeah, pretty much all of the quest givers in this zone are Moogles, and Moogles are best used sparingly. This is the last bit that we need. Yes. Okay, so I think that should be sorted, sorted, sorted. Alright, this gives you yeah, so we've just got Azizlar to do now. So you can see, just from doing that, we've got what, 2/3 of the way through? And it's not that we couldn't have come back and done that after this next quest. It's just that there's a certain sense of completion and certain feel to it that I quite like. Okay. Let us go to Azizlar. Count Edmund bequeaths you Lord Orchefont's shield. A noble gesture. We bear the hopes and dreams of full many souls. Let their faith in us be a source of strength and courage as we face our remaining trials. Open Kindle. Do we get a... We do. We get a new title. Alright, this is the first flight of the Excelsior. The game will soon be afoot, and Alphino is keen to assemble the players. Work on the Enterprise is nearly complete. Let Ishtola know to make ready.
Until but recently, the Ishgardians have kept their doors firmly shut to outsiders. But thanks to you, we have found in them stout allies with whom we may fight to secure the future of the realm. Truly, you are the beacon of hope towards which all men are drawn.
Spare us the hyperbole. 'Tis not for praise that we fight.
Oh? In light of all we have achieved, I felt it only meet to express my gratitude.
All that we have achieved? Spoken like a true outsider. Until the war is over, we have achieved nothing.
You'll notice that Estinian's slightly more angsty now than he was, which is kind of saying something, I know. He was always a bit standoffish and throughout, but now he really is taking a turn for the slightly more dark.
The coming battle is a chance to excise the root of this conflict, and by my hand it shall be done. Then you may speak of achievement.
You'll notice he's still wearing the armour that has been covered with Nidhogg's blood.
'Twas not mine intent to make light of your struggle. If I have given offence, then I apologize. But if I may speak freely, you would do well to be wary of the Eye. Even now, it burns with insatiable hatred, watching unblinking for a sign of weakness. Should you falter for so much as a moment, it will surely consume you.
Save your concern. I will consume the Eye ere I let it consume me.
Yeah. I think even the most inobservant of individuals should note the slight change in Estinian's character at this point. Hello, Viange. Long time no see.
12 be praised. Thou hast not yet set forth.
No, we're still here.
Cross sand and snow have I journeyed, that I might
Some
deliver
white
this
oversight.
gift unto thee.
White Orosite. But whence did it come?
To mine amazement, it lay hid amongst Moonbreeder's last effects. 'Twas but blind chance or providence that I did hap to spy it. Let no man claim that my late friend e'er erred for lack of foresight.
Yeah, so he found it in Moonbreeder's stuff when he was clearing away her effects.
In the place whither thou goest, servants of darkness do lie in wait. Pray, give unto me thy pledge that thou wilt strike them down and avenge our fallen comrade.
So he wants us to take out Iguim, or however you pronounce that Asian's name. Which is fine, because we want to do that as well. Bum, 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 bum. I'm going to get going then. Let us go, Demajen, as Isla awaits. Cutscene time.
Ah, excellent timing. We've just finished our work on the Enterprise. She's so much improved, I've decided to give her a new name to suit. The Enterprise Excelsior. Or simply the Excelsior if pressed for time.
More Star Trek references.
Once again, she'll carry Eorzea's protectors into battle. All aboard!
The whole track. No. Don't say that.
I can do no more than see you off with prayers for your safety and success. Yet know that wheresoever you may go, my son's spirit goes with you. May the Fury grant you strength.
Thank you, Lord Edmund. Thank you very much. Ooh, everybody's
Return
here.
to us, all of you.
Ooh, shinies. All the shinies.
Enterprise Excelsior. Engage.
Doesn't have quite the effect of going to warp, but I still think Hilda's just a little bit underutilised in this section of the story. There is more with her later on.
This is it! Get ready!
Oh, we're ready. Well, I'm ready.
Eye of mine enemy, render unto me thy power!
Was this a good idea?
No, you will not claim me. I am the master.
Phew.
We're through!
Alphino, stating the obvious. Oh. That's a big airship. And of course we've let them through now the barrier's down.
Chief, we've got an Imperial battleship on our tail. And it's bleeding massive.
It's bleeding massive. Uh-oh. Do a barrel roll. Actually, no, don't, because we'll pop your full out.
The bastards were waiting for us to open the door for them.
Why did nobody think that was a possibility?
I'm gonna try to shake them. Hang on to something.
We're all going to die! Tataru!
Oh. Oh dear.
She won't take much more of this.
I would like to see more interaction between
Time has
Tataru
come
and
to
Wedge.
use Hydalin's gift.
Ooh, hello, Zell.
Much blood has been spilled in my name. And for what? For a false cause that I created for want of the warmth of companionship.
Ah, yes.
Saint Shiva, pray Svelga, pray forgive this fool. But even now, I cannot let go of my dream. My dream of a tomorrow in which no child need freeze alone in the snow. Thank you, Hraesvelgar.
Is that Azel? What does she mean to do?
Kick some ass.
Oh, goddess, born of mine own hopes and dreams, for the last time, I beseech you. Fill this vessel with your light. Still the hatred within our hearts, and bless us with eternal grace!
She's giving us time to escape.
Farewell, warrior of light, and thank you for showing me the way.
No!
This ether. It was a crystal of light. She, too, was one of Hydaelyn's chosen.
Yep.
Fare you well, my lady.
So yes, I said after the vault with Orchefon's death that there will be more deaths before the before 3.x's end, and that's the first of them. Poor Zalf gave her life for somebody who we chase after, tried to kill, hounded, harangued. She went from being the villain, realistically, or at least an adversary, into, you know, one of the chosen of Hydaelyn, somebody very much like ourselves. And that's good character progression, that's good writing. Her sacrificing herself like that. Some people might argue that her turning up is a little bit out of the blue, which it is, but coincidences happen, and for you know, a game tied into belief and fate and so on and so forth. I don't know, never noticed that before. So yeah, this is Azizlar. This is the research facility of the Allagans, or it's one of their many research facilities, and it's bloody huge. So I'm just going to finish this quest. Phew. Don't know about you, but I'm glad to be back on solid ground, even if said ground's floating in the sky. When that Imperial battleship appeared, I honestly thought we were finished. We would have been, had your friend not arrived when she did. 12, grant her mercy. Brief though our time together was, Azelle was a true friend, a gentle soul who fought for her beliefs. She would have made a fine scion. What is a scion but one who fights for our cause? Our hopes survive thanks to her sacrifice. Let that be enough. Yet, I cannot help but wonder how came she to know of our presence here? From Heavensward, I would wager. He will have felt my channeling of the Eye's power. It would seem they were able to make peace with one another in the end. She gave her life because she believed in us. We owe it to her to see our mission through. See that dome-like structure further in? Let's make our way there. And there we go. You'll notice the aetherite in this particular area is unique, and I think it's actually unique in the game. I don't think there's another one that looks like that anywhere else. It might be some in a raid or something. But here we go. This is our hub. This is our sanctuary for our adventure in Azizlar. The Isle's sentinels don't seem to frequent this area. We should be safe here. Let's talk strategy, shall we? Some bits and pieces around, and this area will start to open up. As we go through. I'm just going to check whereabouts are we in the grand scheme of things. What are we on? Systematic exploration. Right, let's carry on for a little bit. Sid looks like a man with a plan. First of all, in the interests of efficiency, I suggest we make this place our base camp, where we can coordinate the search for the Archbishop from here. I have no objections. Now that we stand upon Azizlar, I am struck by the vastness of the Isle. We must needs be methodical if we are to find our quarry. Good. Now, unless I'm mistaken, this used to be an airship landing, and a major one at that. From what I know of Alagon design, there should be a terminal nearby that's linked to the Isle's operational hearts. If we can find such a terminal, we should be able to learn something of the Archbishop's whereabouts. Let's split up and look for it. We'll just stand here. What ungodly vessels must the Alagon have built to warrant so vast a landing? The Empire borrowed most of its technology from Alagon relics. If we can find the terminal, I reckon we can operate it. Alpha Quadrant. Ooh, I need to kill some of those. Machines are beyond my understanding. I shall leave it to the others to find this terminal. Of more concern to me are the dragons that I sense nearby. Yeah, this area should be a lot easier than what it would normally be, or what it was the first time I came through here, because we've got much better equipment. These things took a while. Azizlar is an interesting zone quest-wise, because basically what we end up doing is going through a series of breadcrumb quests, I suppose, that takes us kind of around the zone, or at least chunks of the zone. Nothing? Damn it. It's just this terminal then, but it doesn't respond to anything I do. Any bright ideas, Wedge? Wedge? He was here just a moment ago. Oh, don't tell me he's wandered off. I'm sorry, but could you help me search for him? Absent-minded as he is, I worry that he strayed beyond the landing area and made friends with the local sentinels. The compass does not detect any nearby currents. Yes, I seem to recall we get flying in Azizlar from doing quests only. We heard the sound. Ow! Wedge, you alright? I'm fine, Chief. I just tripped, that's all. Fool of a Lalafell. What were you thinking, coming here on your own? Death by overwork is one thing, death by stupidity quite another. I'm sorry, Chief, but I think I found something. What's this? The wreck of a sentinel? This is no wreck, Chief. She's still operational. If in doubt, kick it. See? Blip. Initiating. Performing diagnostics. Diagnostics complete. To proceed, please agree to the terms and conditions of use. I suppose. Thank you. To register as a user, please state your name. I'm Wedge, and that there is Demajen. User registration complete. Welcome to Azislar, Master Wedge and Mistress Demajen. I am Guidance Node GLI, is that? GLI? Glee. Sid, impressed as ever. Bum ba da bum 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 bum. This isn't quite what I had in mind, but it might just serve. Wedge, bring the node this way, would you? There's something I'd like to try. Note, I need a status report on the facility. Giddy, you have to do what the chief says. Yes, that's it. Good girl. Ah, here we are. Not much a note. It appears someone recently reactivated Helix, which is this area. Reactivated, you say? By the Archbishop, I'd wager. I dare say he woke the place up when he used the Vanu's key. Are there any other people in the facility? If so, where? Let's see here. On the flagship, that's the central aisle, I'm seeing positive readings within the Etherochemical Research Facility and the Fractal Continuum. What have we here? Intruders detected in the Gamma Quadrant. Defense system engaged. Our Imperial friends, I suspect. I hope they enjoy the defense system. But what of the Archbishop and his cronies? What might offer an indication? Ah! How about this? Which area is currently consuming the most energy? Somewhere called Triad Control inside the research facility. The warring Triad are enemies from previous game. Can't remember which one actually. Is it Final Fantasy VI? The Warring Triad? Or is it 3? Let's just double check. Oh no, Final Fantasy VI, yeah. So, what are they? The Demon, the Fiend and the Goddess. So Zervan, Sophia, and the name escapes me. In 14. Let's just double check. Sephiroth. So yeah, so Sephiroth the Fiend, Sophia the Goddess, and Zervan the Demon. They are all trials later on in the 3.x storyline. And I have done none of them. But they've been contained by the Allagons. And what manner of place is that? It is, and I quote, a regulation facility for the Warring Triad test subjects. And that's all it says. The rest of the information is only accessible to users with consular privileges. I mislike the sound of this, which leads me to believe that it is indeed the place. I'm inclined to agree with Y'shtola. Whatever it is that the Archbishop seeks, it's like to be there. That settles it then. Let's find a way to cross over to the flagship. Can't we just get aboard the Enterprise, or is it too badly damaged? Do-do-do. Yes, each of the main quests here gives a an ether current, so we don't need to go searching for bits and pieces. You'll also notice that there's now a mender here. There's also a item trainer, vendor. Even item trainer, what the hell? It does only sell item level 150 stuff though, so it's great if you've just got here. Weirdly enough, it sells fisher stuff as well. I think one of these nodes, that one sells dye, gives dye as a reward. I'm sure one of them gives an actual pet. I can't remember which one. And I don't think the control node does anything for the moment. Oh, that just tells us what stuff about this place. Okay, so we're not going to do Azazlar today because we're already 3 hours 20 minutes into the stream, and my internet's starting to go a little bit spoony, and I don't want it to cut out. But we should manage to get Azazlar done in, I won't say one sitting because there's a couple of dungeons I think that we've got to do to finish off the 3.0 storyline. But we're getting pretty close to it. So that is as good a place as any to end for the night. So, thank you all for joining me. And I will see you all again. For now though, toodle pip.